Well, it's that time, folks. It's that time. You ready? Dear Rudy, I know. Rudy, I've been buying revised cards every day for all of 2020. All of 2020. In my opinion, revised is the next big, undervalued, or appreciated, or recognized product in the future of Magic. This will be a good talk. What is your taco-y opinion, Rudy? Am I the ultimate King Timmy, or do you think I'm right? My reasoning is similar to your previous videos mentioning the rares in the set, not the actual dual lands. See, that's something we talked about. Remember, everybody? Remember I was mentioning a couple months ago, everybody knows the dual lands. They're worth money. You can spot them a mile away. Called them the rainbow lands. A lot of kids in the 90s, they call them the rainbow lands because the way the text box has the stripes, or like the striped rainbow land. Anyways, point is, I always felt the hidden value was outside the dual lands, and I kind of agree with this. Anyways, specifically, here we go. Wheel of Fortune, Copy Artifact, Fork, the old Vesuvion, Doppelganger, Brain Geysers, and Fast Bonds. Again, all of those cards, none of those cards are in 4th edition. So those are all cards that are not, that got the cut, that didn't get reprinted to 4th edition because they deemed it too strong still. In addition, of course, we already know this, Uncommons, Demonic Tutor, and Soul Rings. What are your thoughts? All right, so let's kind of break this down first, everybody. Revised boxes as of the filming this video are what? $8,000 a box for revised. There's surprisingly a good amount out there. I would say there's still probably a couple hundred revised boxes in the world. I would say easily. It's over 100. I don't know if I'd say 1,000 boxes, but there's hundreds of boxes left in the world. Well, how many are left sealed still? I would assume at least a couple hundred, at least. There are no mythics. There are no foils. So the chase, and when you crack a box of revised, you're not looking for mythics or, really big swing in the box. You're not looking for hollows or foils or anything like that. Let's see here. What else do we know? We know when you crack a revised box, overall, you're averaging about 3 dual lands. A bad box can have 1 dual land. A really good box can have like 4 or 5 dual lands. So we're going to call it an average of 3. We know also with Demonic Tutor in pack fresh condition is pushing like $50 for a minty, near mint to mint uncommon. Soul Ring, probably $20 for a minty uncommon. So these are all kind of the facts that we know right now. And I've discussed this with you all. We know the 10 dual lands are always going to be the benchmark. We're a broken record discussing it. We know that's all everybody thinks about. Like literally for the last 10 years, past 20 years, hell, since probably the 90s, when you think of revise, at least in modern times, you think dual lands, right? Now recently, obviously, it's becoming not as imperative. I can't believe Wheel of Fortune. We're going to go right to Wheel of Fortune. I cannot believe Wheel of Fortune is over $200 for the revised copy. If you want mint condition, clean, pack fresh, revised Wheel of Fortune, you're probably looking at almost $300 now. I'd say probably $250 to $300 for true, pack fresh, clean, white, nice card. That's crazy. That's more than what, 2 or 3 of the dual lands? So within the 10 dual lands, we now have a rare that's penetrated through, giggity, at least 2 or 3 of those. So we have a rare that's worth more than some of the dual lands for the first time in like 20 years. That's a really big deal. On top of that, what did he list them all? What? Fast Bond, Vesuvian, what did he list? Copy Artifact, Fork. Okay, yeah. Look, in my honest opinion, and again, no matter what video we talk about, the market's always going to make fun of me for pumping and dumping whatever today's topic is. In my opinion, I think a revised Wheel of Fortune can keep going. I actually, and this is kind of crazy, I think there's a real chance that actually Wheel of Fortune could become the most valuable card in revised. More than the dual lands. More than Underground Sea. Revised Wheel of Fortune has become such a powerhouse, iconic piece of art. The whole Commander EDH world, the whole perspective of the card, the whole reserve list with it, just like the dual land. But Wheel of Fortune, I actually think it could overtake the dual lands. We could see $500 to $1,000 for a minty pack fresh Wheel of Fortune. God help you what a PSA 10 BGS 9.5 would be then. But I'm talking revised. I've never personally gone out of my way to buy a bunch of Wheel of Fortunes, but I know I have to do a video of revised cards, actually, like from the Vault Rudy. I haven't done that with revised. I did the dual lands a long time ago, but I never did my regular revised. In my opinion, I probably have a substantial position in the Wheel of Fortunes just from a collection buying accumulation over the years, because every time I go through those collections and videos you guys have seen, I pull all the revised cards, the dual lands, the tutors, the Wheel of Fortunes, the copy artifacts, the doppelganger. I always pull them out, and I take all the rares and I kind of move them to my sorting area, and then I put the dual lands locked up in the Rudy vault, but then I leave all the basic rares and all the good uncommons in a huge area. So I don't know the exact quantity I have, but it has to be a pretty good amount. I would say minimum at least 100. But I think we're going to have a time where we could cross that. I think Wheel of Fortune could become the benchmark of revised for the first time ever. And right behind that, I actually think these Vesuvian doppelgangers, these, the Fork, Fast Bond, and especially Copy Artifact, these cards are still very cheap. I mean, we're talking cards from 1994. The only reason they're cheap is because of price memory and a high print run, a higher supply than the market was able to take for a very long time, because it was revised and unlimited printings. They printed a lot compared to Alpha Beta. But at the same time, I easily can see a time where when we look at Dawn Glare or some Goldfish website where we list the 10 dual lands, like we sort most expensive and revised, and you see at the top, like Wheel of Fortune 1,000, Copy Artifacts like 800, and then you have all the dual lands, and then of course you have the Fast Bond and Fork and things like that. I actually see a future where that kind of pricing is realistic. And again, to swing back, go on eBay, go on TCG Player, go on the internet, tell me how many sealed boxes of revised are even for sale. Can you even find 10? 5? How many sealed boxes are for sale? Seriously. If revised is that common, and I'm telling you guys there could be 500 sealed boxes left in the world, where are they? Because they're definitely not on the market. Are there really? I mean, well, Rudy, you got 3. I mean, are there really that many? Because on eBay right now, when I checked before filming this, there were 4 boxes of revised for sale for between like $7,000 and like $10,000 a box. And again, if you have the 10 dual lands and you have another 10 cards that become just as expensive as the dual lands, that means 20 of the rares become really big chase rares. That's going to change the expected value and the demand for the sealed product. The revised starter decks, forget it. They're already gone. I haven't seen a revised starter brick on the market now. Don't even try it. They're gone. You just can't find them. Forget it. And so when you look at the whole situation, this guy, my overall thoughts, I guess I agree. I don't agree that these prices are going to happen quick. I don't think people should be running out to buy them all and getting all FOMO and throwing money and panic buying. Because remember, revised is a huge supply in the world. But at the end of the day, I agree. I think as the years progress over the next 1, 3, 5, 10 years, I actually see, cards, especially Copy Artifact, Doppelganger, Brain Geyser, I forgot about that one, Fast Bond, Fork, I could see these cards being $500 to $1,000 chase cards in 5, 10 years from now, next to the dual lands, because they're just staples. These are cards that are all reserve lists. You can't get them. Demonic Tutor's an uncommon. I guess, wasn't that removed? Was that one of the cards removed from the reserve list in the early days? Being an uncommon? I can't remember. But I agree. I don't think the returns are going to be very dramatic and like everyone's going to get rich. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think it's going to be a slow thing. Like in a couple months from now, I think like Wheel of Fortune is going to go up a few dollars more. I think another 6 months it'll be a few dollars more. I think Copy Artifact will be creeping like a couple dollars. I think it's going to be very slow. And the people who have those diamond hands that can just hold and ride out the markets and the swings, I think in the long game, a lot of wealth is going to be created on these old things. And I felt that for many years. People make fun of me when I talk about revised, but, this guy, now again, by the way, if this gentleman, could be a young lady, I'm assuming gentleman, I apologize. If this is their entire position is just revised cards, we got a problem. I think you need to be diversifying. I hope this individual is buying other Magic cards besides just putting everything in revised. I wouldn't agree with that. Maybe just take like 1 to 5% of your position. Other than that, you need to diversify. Diversify your bonds!